Okay, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Ridruskullah with the number of student F1 D1 25091, and then I will make a job of video English video to TOEFL video, and then let's we begin. Okay, let me begin. Personally speaking, I feel that a high school student should wear school uniforms. My primary reason My primary reason is that uniforms significantly reduce peer pressure and socioeconomic disparities among students. I remember when I one was middle school, and a lot of students felt pressure to buy expensive brand name clothes. Yeah, to fit in, this created a visible divide. With uniforms, everyone looks the same, and the focus is back to academics rather than fashion and wealth. On top of that, wearing uniform promotes a more serious and professional atmosphere in the school. Yeah, it helps instill a sense, discipline, and belonging. For example, whenever I put on a formal uniform for a school event, I immediately felt more focused and ready for the tasks at hand. Okay, and the next one, the reading passage announced a change on campus. You see, the university library be making a significant change, transitioning from physical books to electronic books. Yeah, the university proposed this change to help save money and free up valuable physical space on campus. The man in conversation completely opposes this idea because electronic books often require special software or device, which can be expensive and inconvenient for students. Furthermore, some other books or research may not be compatible with newer device. Secondly, he explains that reading on a screen causes a lot of eye strain, which makes it harder for students to focus and study for long periods. Then, which we cannot do effectively with an ebook. So, to sum up, the man opposes the university's plan switch entered to ebooks because of the high cost and inconvenience of the required technology. Okay, and we next to question of three. The lecture is about a concept known as swarm intelligence, which is the collective behavior of the centralized self-organized system, typically found in nature like group of animal or insects. Although individual members are simple, the group as a whole can solve complex problem. In the lecture, the professor delves deeper into the subject by providing an illustration of the topic. Yeah, bro. To start the lecture, explain that the first example is the behavior of ants, individual ants follow simple rules, but collectively they can find the shortest path of the food source by leaving chemical trace called pheromones. Secondly, the professor described the second example, which is a swarm of bees building a hive. No single bee has a complete blueprint of the hive. Instead, each bee follows simple rules based on local information, and the result is perfectly symmetrical. And then organized behavior and image from money then. And then we have to the last question four. The professor gets into a ton of detail about aggression, which is defined as any behavior directed toward another individual that is carried out of the proximate out with intent to cause harm. The lecture discusses two main theories as to why the exist after introducing the topic. The lecturer mentioned that the first theory is the biological or instinct theory. Its aggression is an innate, inherited tendency. It's essentially very survival, like a self-defense mechanism. For example, some early researchers suggested that humans have an instinctual drive to fight or defend their territory. Secondly, the professors described the second theory, which is a social learning theory. This theory argues that aggression is a learned behavior. People learn to be aggressive by observing and imitating others.